Hello everyone, welcome to BISP Solution. Today we'll start with the new topic, that is CbCR, that is country by country reporting. So CbCR, it's a new disclosure requirement for the large multinational enterprises. It's a three-tier reporting or the requirement calling for CbCR template. First is the CbCR template, second is the master file, third is the local file. Now, CbCR report includes country level financial data such as related party disclosures, third party revenue, tax paid, and so on. So, the tax authorities use this information to assess the transfer pricing risks and make determination in how they allocate the tax audit resources. So here it says the CbC report includes country level financial data such as revenue, income, like country by country. They have to prepare these kind of financial data, and that report includes revenue, income, tax paid and accrued, employment, that is the number of employees, capital, retained earnings, and the information related to tangible assets. So the tax authorities use this information to assess the transfer pricing risk and make determination on how they allocate their tax audit resources. So in addition, they should also prepare a master file document, a blueprint of their organization, global operations, and a local file providing functional and economical analysis of the international transactions undertaken by the local entity. So it's in the TRCS, the Tax Reporting Cloud Services, enable you to collect the required data under Table 1, 2, and 3 of CbCR. You can integrate the financial statement data into the TRCS. You can integrate from FCCS, ERP Cloud, on-premise ERP system like eBusiness Suite, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, or the third-party applications. So number of employees, how many are there? It can be entered manually or integrated from HCM or EPM cloud. Any data that can be automatically integrated from source financial system can be collected manually using the tax reporting cloud native data collection functionality. Now CbCR table 1, which was mentioned, it uses the table 1, 2, and 3 of the CbCR. So the table 1, in CbCR table 1, basically the users can view and enter adjustments and base level entity data. So any data that is automatically sourced from the financial system is reflected in the automated row. So the data which is not automated or require any adjustment, it will appear in the adjustment row. So basically, if we come to the conclusion, it says CbCR, it's basically a reporting obligation that is required by the multinational companies. CbCR report is filed annually. It contains high level data on the global allocation of the income taxes and certain other measures of the economic activity. So basically this reporting also helps us to know the revenue allocated to the related parties and the revenue allocated to non-related parties, and we can have the information of the taxes as well. Also by this CbCR we can prepare the transfer pricing report, because for transfer pricing it is again the related party transactions. We there need to have the arm length price transaction. So it also help us to prepare the transfer pricing report. Now let's go to the application and see the practical aspect of the CbCR. Now we'll see how CbCR report looks like and what all contents it should have and what should be the heading and how we'll fill those requirements. Now under CbCR, under data entry, here we have the table 1 and table 2 which we just talked about in the slide. Now under table 1, so POV are like these. The scenario is actual, year is FY15, period is P12, entity is operation USD. Now maybe we can select for some other entity as well. Okay, so maybe the scenario is actual, year is, you can select as per your as per the requirement, period is P12, entity here is operation USD, consolidation, jurisdiction you have taken as United States domicile, multi-cap, and currency is entity currency. So in revenue related party column, we will be getting the data from related parties. Now we can have data from the map data, we can have data from the managed data, the supplemental data, and the data input. You can also input the figures from supplemental data, and like if you can input here, you will see the data in your the supplemental data column. Right now it is coming from map data, so means the data is coming mapped to this particular account, that is revenue related parties entry, and you can see data here. Then we have the revenue from the unrelated party. Then we have the national income tax paid on cash basis, regional income tax paid on cash basis, national income tax accrued, and the regional income tax accrued current year. Okay, so now here I'll be choosing the FY15 and P. So in FY15, as you can see, you have some data from revenue related parties under map data. Then you have revenue unrelated party data coming from the map data. And then you have the profit or loss before the income tax entry, profit or loss before the income tax. Then you have national income tax, what you have paid, the regional income tax, what you have paid. Now the total of income tax paid on cash basis, so total of these two. Then you have national income tax accrued current year, and then you have the regional income tax accrued current year. Now in table 2, other information you will get of the entity. Here it will be required, means whether the entity is involved in research and development, or the holding managerial intellectual property, or something purchasing or procurement, manufacturing or production, or the entity is involved in sales, marketing, distribution, the administrative management or the support services, or the provision of the services to the unrelated parties, internal group finance is there, or some transactions which are there related to regulated financial services, insurance transactions, holding shares or other equity instruments, or the dormant transactions to the dormant account. So here you can go and enter the whether that is the entity is involved in these kind of transactions. Then you have to select the yes or no. If it is involved, then yes, otherwise leave it blank or say no. Then under constituent entity information, here it will give the general information of the entity, will be provided here, like what is the address of the entity, street, country code, tin code, district name. So all the general information basically regarding the entity. And under other further information, if we want to add further information, we can do so by clicking here in the further information tab. So the our main basically table is table 1. So we'll try here to create one account, and we'll see how we can add the data or map the data from our application. So firstly I'll select here from member selector P12. So if you see here, you can see in our table 1 you have related revenue related party entry, then you have revenue unrelated party entry, then you have, from this you will get the profit and loss before the income tax, and then after that you have the national income tax paid or the regional income tax paid both on the cash basis, then you have total income tax paid on cash basis, then you have that means the total of these two, then you have national income tax accrued for current year, regional income tax accrued for current year. The total of these two will comprise the total income tax accrued current year. Now the state capital entry means what is the state capital for this particular entity. Now the accumulated earning entry, accumulated earning, how number of employees entry, you need to here fill the number of employees, then the tangible assets net entry, and then the tangible assets net. So these are information are required here. Then you can enter some the adjustment also for the data input, like if you want to do the above or the how you are getting the data, here you can do the adjustments for for these transactions. So you can do it here, and then total data source you will get from where you are getting, that is from map data or managed data or supplemental data, data input, and then from adjustment and total in data source. So this how now you'll get, we'll see, we'll try to fill in some information over here. So now whom basically we'll try to create this sum in table 1 and put the information. So I'll create one account from the home pin name under the related party. So the dimensions which are under account dimension, I'll create under revenue. So under revenue, this is net income after tax, and this is the basically a revenue 40,000. Under it you have many accounts, so I'll create under this only a child under this revenue. So basically the CbCR is about the revenue and the taxes both from national and regional. So we'll create the account under the book account. Now I'll maybe name it as 1 2 3 4, or if the range is starting with 40,000, so 41100 1100 again 1100 likewise, and I can give the alias as demo underscore. so that it is easy for us to bifurcate demo underscore revenue. Now the account type is revenue, variance reporting is non-expense, which is correct, time balance flow, exchange rate type, source cube console. Now data storage property, I'll keep it as store. This is fine. Plan type as addition, data type is currency. Now under attribute value, here you can see the CbCR. You have to assign CbCR to this revenue account which I have created. As I have created the account for CbCR related parties, so I'll assign this CbCR revenue related parties, which is this is by default created, and we'll transfer it to right side. So according to the requirement, we'll be choosing the value for the attribute name income. So here you need to just add the custom attribute, and then you need to save it. We need to check under member formula as well the data storage property. So this is our account, and again we'll edit it just to check in member formula. Okay, the data storage is store. Cancel. Now as we have added some members, so I'll refresh it. We'll wait till a refresh database or cube refresh is completed. So now basically we have created the account, and now we'll do the automation for the CbCR report. So for doing the automation, you need to go under application and then configuration. Here under CbCR automation. So here I have selected F5, 15 and P12. Here you first need to check your POV, that the scenario is actual, year is F5, 15, period is P12. Okay, so this is my account revenue related party entry right now. So we'll check here. Basically we created one account related to revenue related party, so we need to enable it. Okay, so it is already enabled, and the logic is pull logic, and we are 100% pulling the data. Source cube is console. The source account, so here you need to define the account that we have created. So you need to provide the source account or book account that we have created here. So you can search as like demo. So this is my account. ICP is no intercompany. Source data is, I'm saying, source pre-tax, and the movement is trial balance close because this revenue comes under trial balance. Now save. So basically we are trying to map this account with the account we have already created. So demo revenue we have created, we are trying to map it with revenue related party, and we are trying to 100%. We are applying the logic as pull and trying to pull 100%. Okay, so now we have saved. So this is why this is how we have done the automation for CbCR reporting, or we have also we have done the configuration for CbCR reporting. Now we'll try to input the figure in the account that we have created. So for that we'll go under application, so there has been some issue with the application. Under application, no. Here under tax provision national, under package, wait for some time, application is not working properly. basically after creating that, here in the tax provisional national, under package, if you go, so here are some tax losses, the tax credits, temporary difference over here. In an overview, you can go and see the statutory rate versus ETR, and the ETR over the year, the tax rates, the FX rates. So here you can, under tax rates, go and input your the tax rates which you want for the current year for these particular entities or for particular countries or entities. If we yeah, here you have the forms for CbCR as well. And the table 1 you have, you can enter like table 1 data entries there, by jurisdiction is there. So here you can go and input your adjustment also, like if you want to input something, maybe 25,000 as your adjustment, and save it for the revenue related parties. So in this way you will be seeing the adjustment over here, and the ultimate effect you will see on the revenue related party entry. But under income statement by source, the currency is entity currency, local gap, or if you can see the no multi gap, entity input United States, entities this P12 fragment. So maybe we'll select some other form. Basically what I'm trying to say, the form which I had created was just lost. So as we have done the automations, everything is done. So just now how I entered under CbCR like this, similarly you need to go and input in your income statement by source. Whatever data you will input it, you can see over here in your um, output, that is the data which is coming from the map data. So in this way you need to fill your information, you do the automations, you create the account, assign your CbCR, and then just find the correct output in your this table 1 data entry form. Profit before tax, under gross margin, under revenue. So this is my revenue. The scenario is actual, FY 1512, United States domicile, no multi-cap, and entity currency. Here if you try to input suppose 2 lakh and save it, okay, and if you run the consolidation rule for entity as LE101. The period is P12. Scenario is actual, and the year is FY15. Launch. Okay, so force consolidate rule was successful. Unsaved data, do you want to proceed? No. So this is saved, and then now we'll go back to the CbCR data entry. So like if you do here, from there also you can input it, from here also you can go and input your adjustments. So in this way basically you do your automations and input your figures and see the result over here. If we select the local gap, here we have done the adjustment earlier as 25,000. Now under multi-gap we have done the no multi-gap, we have done 2 lakh as my adjustment CbCR. So basically in this way you find your result and check. You do your CbCR automation, and which is required for, as we talked about earlier also, which is required for the multinational companies. Yeah, so if you have any doubt or any query, you can contact the BISP. And thank you for your time. We'll connect again for the next topic. Thank you.